Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the 55 Plus Ontario Winter Games podcast series, where we are promoting the Winter Games coming to Huntsville, Ontario, February 3rd to the 5th, and being held throughout East Perry Sound, Huntsville, and even South Muskoka. I am unbelievably honored today to have two world-class figure skating competitors in my podcast. We have Alissa Czisny, who is a two-time United States Women's Champion, amazing, and we have Kurt Browning, who for a lot of Canadians, if you're my age, you grew up watching him on the screen. And we also have his dog here, and if you can't see the podcast, he is adding a lot. Okay, he's a big part of this right now for us. And Kurt being a four-time world champion. I don't know, for the two of you being the best at your sport, I can't imagine how that must feel. So thank you guys for joining us today and helping us promote the 55 Plus Winter Games in Huntsville.
Cool. Thank you.
I would also like to add that you guys are the ambassadors for the figure skating program. And you're also organizing an unbelievable opening ceremonies, which I encourage you. I saw a bit of the warm up, the early stages of it. It's involving our youth figure skaters in Huntsville who are so talented. And Alissa and Kurt are working with them to put on this amazing show. So for the opening ceremonies, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be very, 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 very fun. Alissa and Kurt, I just want to get into, to start off with, what I always like to learn is the background. You guys are obviously very passionate figure skaters. You don't have to be doing what you're doing these days by giving back to the sport, but you are. What is it that as youth got you into figure skating? I'll start with you, Alissa. What exposed you first to figure skating, and what made you think, yes, this is what I want to devote a lot of my life to?
Long story short, my parents both hail from Wisconsin, and they moved to Ohio shortly before I was born. My parents, having been avid cross-country skiers, were left with nothing to do in the wintertime because there wasn't enough snow. So my mom decided to take skating lessons as an adult. And my twin sister and I didn't want to stay with the babysitter. So we started skating at 18 months of age. So I'll be honest, I don't remember.
Of course.
But I do remember, right? It's a playground when you're little, but my sister and I had so much fun. And I do remember just at some point, my parents sat us down and said, pick a sport, because we were doing multiple. And my sister and I both chose figure skating. And I think it's just something I identified myself as a figure skater. There's so much in skating, music, the challenge of the sport side of it. And just, I think there are multiple ways to explore that side of the sport. So I've always enjoyed the different identities I have as a figure skater.
And I think what you touched on a bit, and what I always love watching figure skating is it's sport colliding with art, right? I mean, the artistry of a figure skating competition is what enthralls so many people, and why it's one of the most watched sports ever at the Olympics. We all tune into the big events. So were you a dancer at all? Were you artistic in general, into music?
I was a quiet artist. I was very shy as a kid, so I didn't love figure skating for the performing part of it. But when I was on a session and there was music playing, I was always making up to it, and also creative off the ice. But when I was younger, I loved the challenge. Somebody could do something, so then I looked at them and I was like, why can't I do that? And I wanted to figure it out. But as I got older, I really enjoyed that figure skating gave me an opportunity to express myself.
Amazing.
I think it's just the nature of that, being able to express yourself in a creative way is pretty cool.
Great. And you got the pleasure of meeting some of our young skaters in town. And I think we're so lucky. We have some really amazing coaches for figure skating in our town, and they're working with our youth. And I'm thinking that you guys coming through and working with them, I've already heard, actually, it's inspired those kids that, they're meeting people that were at the top of the game in this sport, which is great. So I can't thank you enough for doing that. Kurt, leaning back to you as a young Canadian boy, what exposed you to figure skating? What got you into it, and why are you so passionate about it?
Hockey.
Hockey. All right. Yeah. It started there.
I grew up in central Alberta on the farm. There was a small town named Caroline, about 5 miles away, back when we used miles. And I joined the hockey team because the local outdoor rink got a Quonset over it. So timing is everything. So I guess 8 years old, and you start skating because of that. So I mean, I owe a lot of happiness and career to my in my life, potentially to a Quonset in Caroline, Alberta. That's now called the Kurt Browning Arena.
Amazing. And it's not a Quonset hut anymore, I would imagine.
It's not, well, it's still a Quonset, but it's good. It's a bigger one.
All right.
And so what happened was my mom was watching me play hockey on Tuesday, practice game on Saturday, and not really seeing me improve. So, of course, there was this new thing called figure skating in town. So she put me in. If I remember correctly, everybody joined figure skating. I think it was called Tag and Crack the Whip. It wasn't very organized, but I got figure skates, tried them out on the pond before going into town. Thanks, Dad. That was good advice because I toe picked and fell all over the place. But I think, unlike Alissa, I fell in love with figure skating because of I discovered that the toe picks on the end of these new skates were weapons. And before they got plastic on the boards, they used to be soft pine, like beautiful pine. And I'm like, well, what could I do to that? So I gave it a kick and a gouge. And then, to make a long story short, as Alissa said, I soon discovered that I could, without touching the boards with my hands, crawl up them like Spider-Man and stand up, which made me feel like a superhero. And I thought, this sport's for me.
This is fun. Well, it's funny. We talked about Alyssa's experience combining art and sport. I think you combined martial arts and sports.
Yeah, destruction and friendship.
Destruction, yeah. And obviously, I mean, I would imagine a lot of fun, right? You don't get to the level you guys got to unless you were enjoying it, which would allow you to want to put the amount of hours you have to put into to be the best at something. So kudos to all the people along the way that helped coach you, because they must have, they challenge you obviously, but they must have made it fun, I would imagine.
Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah, Alyssa, go ahead.
I had fantastic coaches. My first two coaches were show skaters, actually, and so skating was about the fun. And I came from a place that was very non-competitive, and nobody really had the goal of making a career in skating in my rink. It just, you skated for fun and till you graduated from high school. So I learned to have fun first, and then later moved to a rink where people trained and jumping was important and going to competitions. So I think I had a great base of just exploration and play in figure skating.
So Alyssa, you speak to having so much fun along the way, but you became a US champion, and that has to come with more stress and more pressure. So was there a point when some of the fun got taken away, but and the challenge became so tough that it changed the way you looked at figure skating, or did it always stay fun throughout for you?
No, certainly the pressure and the stress definitely come at a certain point in skating. I mean, as a kid, skating at the Olympics is your dream, and I think it's, you know, many children's dreams. But when you get there and the pressure and the stress they don't make skating fun. It becomes a job. And I definitely had a series of times where I didn't want to skate anymore. It wasn't fun and there was no point in skating, but I realized that skating offered a career path that I enjoyed more than anything else that I saw in my future. So that made for me the stress and the pressure and in all the hard work worth it, because I really wanted skating as my career.
Okay. And it's great. I've met you now because you're still participating in skating. You're up here helping Huntsville promote these games. So because you persevere through all that pressure, we get the benefit of having your expertise added to our games, which is great. Now, Kurt, to the same kind of question, you became a 4-time world champion. You've both competed at the Olympics, which is exciting. What was it about the sport as it got on for you, being a Canadian? Because we, just like the USA, we actually look at figure skating as one of our most important sports. So was there a point when the pressure was extremely tough? I mean, we have past champions like Brian Orser and others that are Canadian. So you were filling big shoes. You put us on a bit of a world stage, but how did that feel? Was it too much pressure? Did you enjoy every second of it? Did you thrive at it? How did that go for you?
Being a figure skater in Canada was a lot of fun. You got a lot of attention, especially, you know, back in the late 80s, early mid 90s. And, you know, watching Brian Orser, you know, be your, you know, mentor as well as hero, you know, and then all of a sudden it's my turn. Like now I'm supposed to do that. So that was kind of exciting and scary at the same time. The hardest part of my career was definitely the 2 Olympic Games, where I was already a world champion going into them. The first one I was very injured. and the podcast isn't long enough to talk about all of it.
Yep.
And it was a really, really, really hard time. I think my family got on airplanes to fly to to watch me compete on the other side of the world, and we all kind of knew what was going to happen. And so that was really impossible to actually, you kind of felt like you're being offered up on a plate instead of
Right.
being able to fight for yourself. That was my hardest time. But I've had a wonderful career, and kind of like Alissa, I can't imagine not doing it. And so here we are, or here I am at my elderly state of life.
Mhm.
And I am offered up opportunities to give back to the sport that has given me so much. And I still love it. That even during the tough times, there was never a time, Alissa alluded to a few times, where it's like, oh, this is like a lot. It never felt that way to me. It always felt like what I was supposed to do, where I wanted to be, the kind of people I wanted to meet. And that still is how I feel. So I'm not at center ice that much anymore, but going to Huntsville and meeting kids in the same situation that I used to be in, like not as much support, and kind of like segregated a little bit away from maybe the best coaches in the world, but you still love it. So it's nice to have somebody that maybe has been on TV, and maybe you can look up on YouTube, come to your small town and help out. And it's going to be a great joint effort between us and the Huntsville kids to try to pull together this show.
Well, and I think it will be pulled together. I've already seen some of the efforts. I know it's going to go well. I'm excited about it. But to that
That's
point,
good.
yeah, so far, hey, you know what? And I'm sure no matter what you're doing, as the days go on, you're always going to be nervous. Will it work? Will it go off? But I have every confidence that it will. But I must say, we talked about the pressure. I think in anything in life, if you're the best or at the top of the best at something, no matter what you're doing, no matter what field you're in, there's going to be pressure. And there's going to be days when you don't know if you can handle it and you don't know if it's worth it. Right. So, and some people have the capacity to go through that and some don't. And you guys got to the being champions of your country, and Kurt being the world champion, of course, by finding a way. And I think if I want the kids in Huntsville to see anything from you guys coming and inspiring them, is like, listen, nothing's easy. But if you care enough about something, you can achieve anything. I truly believe that. These kids, man, their eyes lit up when they saw you on the ice. And let's be honest, not all the kids know what you guys have done, but their parents
No, that
do.
was in the back of my mind a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. The older kids, I think if you're in competitive figure skating, you know the names of the people that have succeeded. It's just, but the younger kids, I guarantee you, when the parents got home, were like, watch this video, check out what these guys have done. And so now they get to say they were on the ice with this level of skater. And I think that's going to reverberate through our community for a long time. So we're lucky about that. And just, I would say, seeing the two of you on the ice, the joy, it wasn't a job for you guys that day. The joy of being on there and working with these kids, it was obvious, and it was so appreciated by all of us. It was great. So
Cool.
thank you for that.
And not just the kids, there's adults participating too.
That's true. Yes. And I want to get into that. I want to promote, because I could talk to you guys about figure skating forever and your careers forever, because I'm a big fan. But I'd like to chat about the games themselves, what we're doing with the 55 plus games. So including the 55 plus competitors that are competing, but we also have a new event we're launching. It's a demonstration sport for this one. I want you guys to talk a bit about that.
And what a coincidence. It's figure skating. Actually, I believe there's another demonstration sport as well, but
Yeah, fat biking. Yeah, there's fat bike, and
fat biking.
also, yeah, and also the figure skating demonstration sport.
Yeah, and in the show we're going to do both at the same time, so don't miss that.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
So I believe it was 2015. I was participating with the 55 plus games at that time. Had been invited in. It was a incredibly crazy time in my life. So I was drive 2.5 hours, show up, do something, and then drive 2.5 hours back to Toronto. And then I did that again, drive 2.5 hours, do something, hey, nice, bye, and then leave. And I didn't really get to experience it. I was happy to lend my name and to get on the microphone and to do a bunch of cool things, but I didn't get to experience what the games were all about. So when the opportunity came back again and I was in a meeting, I kind of was like starting to realize figure skating is not a part of this. Like I assumed last time a decade ago that it was.
Mhm.
And they're like, no, no, like, 50, 55 and older, that's too old for figure skating. And I'm like, I beg to differ. So from that begging came an opportunity for my sport, our sport, Alyssa and I, to be a part of this. And there's such a growing community of people who are staying healthy, longevity, and seeing the joy of that running, gliding edge in figure skating. And the spinning and the jumping is elusive, and you really have to be healthy enough and safe enough and stuff like that. But the running edge, that glide, it's practically available for everybody, as you said, who can go for it. I want to give more people the chance to have places to motivate them. So, like a show or a competition where people of a tendering age, if I can make up a word, can find to motivate themselves to get ready for February 3rd. And
Yes.
and I think this is a wonderful opportunity for figure skating to showcase itself and hopefully stay a part of the 55 plus games.
Well, and I think by doing what we're doing, by having two very well-known skaters involved, it might give us a good foundation. So people, you're coming up, you're going to get the chance to be a part of something organized by national champions from two amazing countries. I
Oh,
feel like
right now I'm like a judge. I'm going to judge.
you're
Uh,
good.
yeah, so I'm gonna judge. We've talked to Elizabeth Manley, who of course is a
Oh
silver
yes,
medalist in
yes,
1988,
yep.
and I believe Elizabeth and I are going to judge. We've got a couple other names on my Rolodex that I'm trying to get a third judge. So we're making these figure skating this competition very light. I think Elizabeth and I will be conferring and figuring out who we think is for second and third,
Mhm.
and it's just a trial run, of this sport with the games. So I'm gonna be busy. I'll be there for all three games all day, the whole time.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to meeting Elizabeth Manley. I guess it would have been 14 or 15 at the time. I watched her run in Calgary when she won that silver medal.
Yeah,
And
pretty amazing.
oh, it's pretty amazing. She was so good. We've had so many great figure skaters in this country. And now we've stolen one from the States to be sort of honorary Canadian.
And not giving her back.
Not giving her back. You're staying. You're
Yeah.
us now. And you can visit the States, go down to Maine and do all those things, but make sure you come
Do,
back.
do, do, do you listeners out there know that we're married? Like,
I don't know if everybody does.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, so combining two heavyweights in the game into one couple and then them also willing to come and help us. So if you want to participate in figure skating at the games, you're going to be a part of something pretty special. I didn't know until just now that Elizabeth Manley will be involved. And so the names just keep getting better. It's great. It's exciting. And the fact that it is going to be a demonstration sport. So I think the message, and maybe Alyssa, if you can speak to it, to the people coming, don't be intimidated, right? Like if there are people around the fence of, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I should sign up. What would your message be to them to get involved in this event?
We a part of involving figure skating in this event is to broaden the opportunities for adult figure skaters in Ontario that um there's not a lot of competitions anyways, but this competition is also a chance to have fun.
Mhm.
It's not a serious competition that's going to give you a national title or any of that situation, and in fact the judging criteria is very lax, but we're hoping to give
Trust me.
adult
Yeah.
that we're hoping to give adult skaters more opportunities to enjoy competition as well. We are hoping for an interpretive event and a team event,
Mhm.
as well as an artistic event. So, I mean, for me in figure skating, there's so many reasons to love it, and in certain, different people love different aspects of skating, and so we're hoping to broaden the opportunities for adult skaters in Ontario. And I think that's what we're hoping to give this time around is just different opportunities, fun opportunities.
And I think you guys could both attest there's a lot of talented skaters that are 55 plus in this province. So
Absolutely.
why wouldn't they want to come up and compete and also have some fun? We're going to make sure they have fun. Huntsville's ready for them. We're going to host an unbelievable games. We got a great middle night planned, a great opening ceremonies planned. We've got so much stuff. Winter has hit. We've got snow. You can go snowshoeing, you can go hiking, you can go cross country skiing. So, I mean, there's no reason not to come up and sign up for this event. It's going to be so special, so special. So getting back to now your post skating career and you guys giving back, you obviously have a lot of opportunities to do that. You've chosen to help us with this event. What would be your message? Because we even on here we have compete, volunteer, and spectate. Uh, to get people to come and attend and spectate these events? We're going to put on something special, but what would be the call to action on getting people to come up and be a part of all this?
I can take that. I can remember the first time when I was when I had a comb, young guy. I was at the Alberta Winter Games, and I had no idea as a youngster what I was getting into. Surrounded by athletes from other sports, and then walking in together and feeling a camaraderie and just being able to like be in one place where everything is happening at the same time. And I think that that's what anything that's celebrated as a games is. And one of the things that I will be disappointed at is that I will be at the rink all day and I'll be having a blast, but I don't get to see fat tire biking. And there's also a lot of other things happening. So if you do come up to Huntsville, you have to be organized because you have to pick and choose what you want to see. And hopefully that you're definitely going to see the opening ceremonies because we'll be busy working that. In fact, behind me right now, Mr. Jeffrey Tyler. I'm not sure. I think this is only audio, but if you say hi, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
No, you have to say hi, Jeff. Hi, Jeff. There it is. That's the dulcet tones of his beautiful voice because he's the co-host of these opening ceremonies. With my son Gabriel, so we're all coming in together and pitching in somehow, some way.
And is your dog coming up? Just curious.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because when he gets on the ice, he gets very frustrated on the ice because he doesn't understand why we can catch him.
Yeah, because normally he can't get caught.
Yeah, he can't get caught, and then it's like, well, how did you do that? That's amazing.
Well, you know what? I should let you know too, because you guys are both going to be very busy when you're up here for the games. But you're not that far away. So down the road, when you feel you missed out on fat biking and other stuff, come visit us. We'll show you around. We'll get you into all those fun things that we do up here in Huntsville for sure. We'll
Don't tempt me. I grew up biking in the winter, but my tires weren't chubby.
Well, you know what? It's a whole different sport. We've got an amazing mountain bike association up here that have cut a bunch of trails. I think there was an article on the CBC recently about how we've gone from having no trails at all to being mentioned in trades magazines for mountain biking because of the competitions.
Yeah. Well, Alissa and I will be definitely coming up with our mountain bikes. So we have to stay in touch.
Yeah, we will for sure. Okay, guys, I've taken up way too much of your time. I know you guys are busy. I can't thank you enough for giving us a half hour of your time today. I'm very excited for what we're going to do together for the games. And as chair of the games, I'd like to personally thank you for all the help that you've given us so far.
Excited. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Well, we'll close out and let you get back to your day. And we'll see you pretty soon. I mean, the countdown clock is getting really low on the numbers. So we'll see you up here soon and enjoy your weekend.
We can't wait.